Hey, today we're brushing up on some grammar. We're looking at the 4 present tenses in English. The present tenses are super important. We use them every single day, so it is important to make sure that you know these tenses and that you're using them correctly. So we are going to look at exactly when to use each tense and the differences between them, as well as do a short quiz to make sure that you've understood everything correctly and you are confident and comfortable with this grammar. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to be looking at the present simple tense, the present continuous, which is also called present progressive. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It's just important to note that this tense has 2 names, but the present continuous or present progressive are exactly the same. This is important just if you are using different books, you might see different names, or if you're searching on different websites for grammar, you might see different names for this tense. We're also going to look at the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. Now, it's important for you to note that you don't actually need to worry too much about the names of these tenses unless you are studying for a grammar test, or you are working from a grammar book, or you're searching for these tenses online. And of course, you need to know the name of them. Instead, it's more important for you to focus on what each one actually means and what it is used for in real life. All right. So don't stress too much about the names. The names are more just for your reference. So even if you've never studied grammar in your life, don't stress too much about the names, especially as adult English learners, all right? So let's start off with the present simple tense. First of all, when do we use this tense? What is it actually for? So we use the present simple tense to talk about facts, things that are always true, things that are generally true, also opinions, habits or routines, all right? And when you are using the present simple tense, one important thing to remember is that depending on the subject, you need to add S to your verbs, okay? So for example, if your subject is I, we, you, or they, your verb, your present simple verb is work with no S. So I work at the bank, for example, okay? And if your subject is he, she, or it, you need to add S to your verb, okay? So you need to make sure that your subject and verb match up. So for example, he works at the bank, she works at the bank, and so on, all right? So let's look at some super common examples of the present simple tense, all right? And as we're looking at these examples, I want you to think of similar examples for your own life, things that you would say that are similar to these, all right? So, for example, do you have any kids? Do you have kids? Where do you work? Are you married? She drives an SUV. So here our subject is she. So our verb has an S. She drives an SUV. They work for an international company. He prefers coffee rather than tea. James has 1 dog and 2 cats. He owns an apartment in the city that he rents out. He owns 2 apartments in the city that he rents out. Most people eat breakfast in the morning. This is generally true. Of course, not everyone, but it's a general truth. It rains more often in the winter than in the summer in my city. Again, this is generally true. He goes running in the mornings. This is a routine. She smokes when she drinks, a habit. He wakes up at 6 a.m. on weekends, another routine. She usually eats out on Friday nights. This is a routine or a habit. She always arrives late, another bad habit. And Jess is shy at first, but she opens up once she gets to know you. So this is a habit or a general truth for her, okay? If you need to, you can pause here to reread some of these examples and try to come up with your own, all right? But remember, again, the present simple tense, we use it for facts, opinions, things that are generally true, habits, or routines. Okay, next we're going to have a look at the present continuous or the present progressive, all right? So first of all, when do we use the present continuous tense? What is it for? So there's two situations where we use the present continuous tense. So we use it to talk about actions that are happening right now and will probably continue happening, or temporary actions or situations that are happening during this period of time, not necessarily in this exact moment. All right. So we use it when actions are happening in this exact moment, or when actions are happening during this period of time, okay? And you form the present continuous tense with verb to be, which is, am, are, and a verb with ing, all right? So let's look at some common examples. I'm working right now. I'll call you back. Like the lady in the picture, she's working. She will call you back later. Okay. So at this very moment, of course, she's working. He's looking for a new job. So this example, he's not necessarily looking for a new job at this second, but he's looking for a new job during this period of time. So maybe his job search is ongoing for a few weeks or for a few months. They're trying to sell their house. Again, this is something ongoing during a period of time or over a period of time. They are trying to have a baby. She is learning English. I am not working at the moment, so this means I am unemployed, okay? Not necessarily at this exact second, but during this period of time, I am unemployed. I'm not working at the moment. So this is a good example. If you are not working, you can use this one. What hotel are you staying at? So this is a temporary situation. You don't live at a hotel. You're just staying there for a period of time. I'm staying at the Hilton. This is an answer to the previous question. Are you reading any good books? Again, right now, not at this very second. Are you watching anything on Netflix? Okay, next we're going to look at the present perfect simple. You can rewind a little bit if you need to have a closer look at those examples, okay? So the present perfect simple kind of connects the past to the present. And that's why a lot of people find it very tricky, because they can't tell if we're talking about the past or the present. So the present perfect simple, again, kind of connects the two periods of time, the past and the present. So we use it in a few different situations. First, we use the present perfect simple to talk about actions that started in the past and they're still true or still happening. And usually we use for or since for these situations, all right? Second, we use the present perfect simple to talk about recent news or recently finished events that have some relevance to the present moment, like we're talking about them now, so they're still important now. Third, we use it to talk about past experience without a specific time. So things that we've experienced sometime in our life, but we're not mentioning the time. If we mention the time, then we need to use past simple, okay? And four, we use it for unfinished actions in negative statements or questions, and here we can use yet, okay? So here's how you form the present perfect simple. You have your subject, I, we, you, they, he, she, it, and have or has, and the past participle. Past participle is the third form of the verb. So for example, go, went, gone. Gone is your past participle, okay? Drive, drove, driven. Driven is your past participle. So there's a difference between your past tense verb and your past participle verb. So keep this in mind, all right? So let's have a look at some examples. I have lived in Dubai for 6 years. Here I'm talking about how long I have lived here. So I moved here 6 years ago, and this is still true. I still live here. It's still happening now. She has just left work, so she might be late. So she recently left work. I have visited Italy 3 times. So this is an experience 3 times in my life, and I'm just talking about the experience now, but this was 3 times in my life, but we're not mentioning the dates. Okay, again, if you mention the dates, you need to use past simple. I've seen this movie before. I've worked with this company for 10 years. James has just landed, so he'll probably still be at the airport. Have you ever been skydiving? So this is a common way to use the present perfect simple, is to ask people about life experiences with have you ever questions. This is a really nice way to practice this tense. I'm not hungry because I've just finished my lunch. The results of the election have just been announced. How long have you lived here, or how long have you worked here? Okay, so again, if you need to review these examples, feel free to pause the lesson here, take your time, and I've written in brackets a little explanation of why we're using this tense for this specific example. So feel free to pause here if you need to. Sorry, one more. Have you completed the form yet? An unfinished action. And I have not finished the book yet. So yet we use with negative statements or with questions for unfinished actions. Okay, next let's look at the present perfect continuous. So the present perfect continuous tense, first of all, when do we use it? We use it to talk about new or temporary habits or routines that you started recently, first of all. Secondly, to say how long something has been happening. And third, to talk about an ongoing action that has caused a present result. All right, so to form this, you need to use your subject, of course. So I, we, you, or they, plus have been and a verb with ing. He, she, it has been and a verb with ing. So with the present perfect continuous, you always use have been or has been plus a verb with ing. Okay? So I've been waking up early lately. This is a new routine. The kids have been watching less TV recently. This is a new or temporary habit. They might start watching more TV again later. She told me she's been trying to quit smoking. So again, a new habit. I've been calling you all day. So here I want to emphasize how long I have been calling you, literally all day. Sorry I'm late. Have you been waiting long? Again, we are using the present perfect continuous to emphasize the length of time, okay? Or to focus on the length of time that you may or may not have been waiting. I've been looking for a new job for the last 3 months. She's been talking about this trip for weeks. She's excited and she's talking about this trip. I've been considering a career change for a while now. Okay, a while is a long time. A while doesn't mean a short time. Joe has been working all day, so he's exhausted. I'm hungry because we've been running around all afternoon. So running around means running errands or doing tasks that you have to do, not physically running. It just means you're going to different locations and completing obligations or tasks or errands that you have to do. All right, so now we're going to do some practice. I have a little quiz for you. If you need to, you can rewind, you can pause, you can review some of the uses and the examples of each one of these tenses, and then you can come back to this quiz if you need to, all right? So first question or first situation is, imagine you were born in New York and you never moved, okay? So you're still in New York. You say, I am living in New York my whole life. I live in New York my whole life. I have lived in New York my whole life. All right. So pause here if you need to, if you need a minute to think about your answer. Okay. So the answer in 3, 2, 1. C is correct. I have lived in New York my whole life. So this action started in the past when you were born, and it's still true. You still live in New York. So we're using the present perfect simple tense here, all right? Okay, next situation. You have a job as an accountant at a law firm. You say, I am an accountant at a law firm. I'm working as an accountant at a law firm. Or I have worked as an accountant at a law firm. Okay, so again, pause if you need to. And think about the situation as well. So your answer in 3, 2, 1. is I am an accountant at a law firm. So we use present simple when we want to talk about our job or what we do. We just say I am, okay? So I am a teacher. I am a lawyer. I am a nurse. I am an electrician, okay? It's a common kind of mistake that I hear a lot of people saying, I am working as an electrician. When we use the present continuous tense, it's actually talking about something temporary. But this is your profession and this is your job and this is a true statement. So just use the present simple tense, all right? Okay, next situation. You started trying to improve your diet about 3 weeks ago. So you say, I eat better lately. I have eaten better lately. I have been eating better lately. Okay, so again, pause, think about your answer, and think about the reality of the situation. Okay, and your answer in 3, 2, 1 is C. I have been eating better lately because this is a new habit that you are probably going to continue. It's a new routine, a new habit. So we're using the present perfect continuous for this situation. Okay. Next, you started a project 1 week ago and the project should be finished in about 2 weeks or so. So you say, I work on a challenging project. I am working on a challenging project. I've worked on a challenging project, all right? So I work on a challenging project. I am working on a challenging project. I have worked on a challenging project. Okay, your answer in 3, 2, 1 is B. I am working on a challenging project. So this is an ongoing action. Your project is not finished. So here we use the present continuous. Okay, next. Your home is being renovated. So you say, we stay with my brother for now. We are staying with my brother for now. We have stayed with my brother for now. Okay, so we stay with my brother for now. We are staying with my brother for now, or we have stayed with my brother for now. Okay, so think about if this is a temporary situation, a permanent situation. Is it a fact? Is it something that will change? Is it ongoing? Okay. So we are staying with my brother for now. So this is an ongoing temporary action. You're just staying with your brother for a short time. It's like staying in a hotel. So when you say I live somewhere, that's a fact. So for example, I live in an apartment, but right now I'm staying with my brother because my apartment is being renovated, okay? All right. Next, you got a new job 6 months ago. You say, I am working here for 6 months. I have worked here for 6 months, or I have been working here for 6 months. Pause if you need to. Think about the situation. Okay, and your answer in 3, 2, 1 is actually B and C, because for verbs like live, work, and study, it's when you're saying how long these things have been happening, it's okay to use the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. So I have worked here for 6 months and I have been working here for 6 months are exactly the same. So you could say, I have studied English for 5 years. I've been studying English for 5 years. These are exactly the same. So this works with live, work, and study when you're saying how long you've been doing any one of these things. So there you have it. That is how you use the present simple tense, the present continuous, the present perfect simple, and the present perfect continuous tenses in English. Please let me know how you did on the quiz down below. As well, don't forget to grab your free ebook, English Conversations Made Simple. I've written this ebook to help you level up your English conversation skills. It's free and you can get your copy by clicking the link just below this lesson. As always, thank you so much for watching and for learning with me, and I will see you very soon in the next lesson.